What's up, guys? Welcome back. It's Abernai here, your Tech and Games Crusader, and the next generation of video game consoles is now. Here we are with the Xbox Series X that I just got home from picking up at Best Buy for my pre-order, and going to do a generalized box opening, not an unboxing, just because this is sort of prolific and also very, very much anticipated, that I want to show my appreciation of Microsoft and all of the people who worked on this to get it into the hands of customers today, as well as to everyone else who is hopefully wanting to get one this holiday season, pending the current state of events, delays with shipping and transportation of distribution and everything. So without further ado, let's get to it. Excuse me. I just finished eating a fantastic vegan breakfast from Mid-City Grill, a local bistro style comfort food restaurant that just started doing breakfast today, and I give it 5 out of 5 stars. It was amazing. So we can see here on the back the game that has been delayed due to people's negative feedback and not understanding what they were looking at. And I thought it personally looked amazing for, what we saw back in June, or July rather, was over 4.5 months old of development gameplay. It was earlier than what was currently available that they were working on. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. So here it says, power your dreams. Also, guys, if you didn't know, they are doing a a deal bundle with Xbox Game Pass Ultimate that you purchase with the system right now. You get $15 off, makes it $30 instead of $45 for 3 months. And also, there are the financing options where you can get this console with 2 years of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate for $35 a month for 2 years, or the Series S for 2 years for $25 a month for 2 years. And yeah, this thing is definitely heavier than I was expecting it to be. Here is the front, as we can see here. 4K 120 Velocity architecture, 1 terabyte SSD storage, turns out to be 802 gigabytes of storage after the format down to 931 gigabytes, and then the OS install with the quick resume availability and the network cache available to it. So let's go ahead. We see on top here, really easy to unbox without making a mess or without damaging things. I have already wiped down this box to make sure that it is clean, just like everything that comes in my home, because of being autoimmune, hypersensitive to catching anything. So that much is done. Alright, so here we have a flap. I'm going to touch this under. Here we have a flap. And I am going to roll this one to where it's out of the way until I can get the other one done. Then I will tuck them both under. There we go. Alright. Let's get to the other side here. Tuck under. And let's read the panel here. 4K 120 FPS 4K gaming at up to keywords 120 FPS 8K HDR up to 8K high dynamic range velocity architecture 1TB SSD solid state drive variable refresh rate, what the PlayStation 5 does not have, and why we're not likely going to see 1440p capable in the same capacity as what the Xbox One X as well as the Xbox Series can do. And then 4K Blu-ray player. We're asterisks here. 4K at 120 FPS and 8K HDR require supported content and display used on Xbox Series X as content becomes available. And then we have, it includes the console, wireless controller, ultra high-speed HDMI, which is rated up to 42 gigabits per second, not full 48 gigabits per second, as HDMI 2.1b would be. But it is the full bandwidth of HDMI 2.1a or HDMI 2.1 standard. It does have Wi-Fi with wireless networking capabilities. And then, of course, we have Dolby Vision and Atmos DTS-X sound support codecs, and it is an HDMI console and capable of Ultra HD Blu-ray playing. Alright guys, let's roll these under now. Alright, those are tucked under. And we have a large treasure chest here. What this treasure chest entails is the future of gaming at multiple resolutions other than 1080p or 4K or upscaled to 4K as the PS5 is. This is truly a full RDNA 2 next generation all capabilities console, which likely will get DX12 Ultimate with DXR full implementation ray tracing, as well as the potential of the new Microsoft VR API that they have been working on for the last 2.5 years. So let's take a look and see what we see. Power your dreams. It does have the traditional Microsoft black foam wrap, and it is completely enclosed in coarse quad cord foam. So this is the type of foam you would have that would be resistant to impact but does not give. As you can see, it barely has any give to it at all, where it's quad cord, whereas most computer cases are dual cord foam, where that you have an outside layer and an inside layer. As you can see right here, you can see all 4 layers of foam. 1, 2, 3, 4. The innermost is soft. The next one is hard or coarse, and then the other 2 are also hard and coarse. So yeah, this is an open box for the Microsoft Xbox Series X. We'll take a look here in our box of accessories. You can actually see that it says ultra high speed, which the PS5 console is supposed to also include a high speed HDMI cable that may or may not be HDMI 2.1 standardized. It could be 36 gigabits and not 38, which is the minimum for HDMI 2.1. But that's why we always have the option for buying our own cable, which this one is long enough. Like, Microsoft is very good about giving you long enough cables for everything that you need. And I'm impressed because the shielding on the cable, as well as the anti-kink, is nicely built. But there we have that. Here's our power cable, which is a typical infinity symbol or figure 8 design, dual oval, whatever you want to call it, that has been around ever since the PSP and the PS2 Slim. Maybe even the Dreamcast. So how about that for some 20 years ago legacy? This is technically, in all aspects, the Dreamcast 4. Because the Dreamcast 2 was technically the original Xbox. Xbox 360 was Dreamcast 3-ish. And then the Xbox One, as well as this, where they are using the same titles and things with expansion, I consider the Dreamcast 4. I don't have my headset yet for being able to use with this. I do have pre-ordered the Odyssey Penrose X, and testing for it will happen whenever it ships out. They're still waiting on Microsoft's confirmation for the current implementation of the design so that it can be sent out to customers who pre-ordered it. If you do want to get one of those headsets, though, both the Penrose, which is for PlayStation and PC and Switch, and the Penrose X, which is for Xbox, Switch, and PC, the pre-order is ending on it this Thursday. So that means it'll be going up by $50 instead of $249.99. It will be $300. So now would be the time, if you have any interest in trying out for a very great value, a true planar magnetic design headphones and headset with a Shure technology built microphone built in that is removable, as well as the 100mm drivers that are flat and supposed to be, according to everything else, very resistant to, if not distortion proof. Now would be the time to get one. You can pick that up at audeze.com, AUDEZE.com. Here is the controller, which I will not be using because I do have my Xbox Elite Series 2 controller that I just got a sleeve for, so I can be able to have better grip and height and things on it. You can see the Xbox One inside of here had a very spiral or ring type of texture on each of the concave area. This one, however, does not. It is using the same type of texture crosshatch on the sides, and it has the same bevel at the very top. It is a little bit grippier in the material, and the D-pad is similar to that they started with the Elite controllers as the disc style, which gives me more of that Sega Saturn type of retro vibe that I really like. We have our view and options or menu button, and then we have the new share button, which I won't have access to outright on the Elite Series 2, but I do still have access to it through modification of controls. Here are the new shaved, angled, very, very smooth impact on the triggers, and it has the slightest bit of texturing on the top, which it feels nice to the touch, as well as you have the shaved bumpers, which as well, the texture of this is almost rubberized, but it's not rubber, it's just it's got a type of matte satin finish on the triggers and on the shoulders to where you can see the pattern here. It's not smooth and slick. We have our same Xbox One version of the gel or crystal style buttons with the inset of the nomenclature for each button and design. 3.5mm headphone jack. Still functions with your Xbox headphone amp as well. The only reason that I really don't like to use standard non-elite version of Xbox controllers now is batteries. When you can do USB-C rechargeable built into the Elite Series 2 controller, there's no reason to still use batteries. This is definitely a refined design from that was started on the Xbox One S controllers. But yeah, it's definitely a lot more angle to it. Feels nice. Set that over there. It does also come with your 2 AA batteries, of course. Microsoft has never skimped on batteries because they make you use them. They always give you batteries included. So yeah, let's go ahead and put these things back in this box, and then we will get out the system and look it over. Alright, let's power our dreams. It does have some heft to it. So here we have a door hanger that has some information about batteries, pairing the controller, and your setup for the console, and your memory and storage using the app. So yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at the beast. that Microsoft has built for us to game into the next decade. That will probably see a revision release before the end of 2004, or 2024, rather. Yes, that date. No, listen to. Never mind. It's early still yet, and I am not fully awake. It's been a lot of recovery and healing for me from spider bite, as well as some other things. So, yes, here is the way and the orientation I will be using this console. No, not upside down. I'm just getting the foam off of it. I do want to find out if there is a way that this can be removed, though. I am not a fan of this because I've never stand up an Xbox console ever. I don't care how they design it. It seems like it's actually bolted in from the inside. You can see there's a little bit of writing right there. And writing right there. It says Xbox One. And I cannot read what it says right there. So, looking at the front of the console. We do have a USB 3.1 Gen 2, but it's not colored like one. Here's our Ultra HD 4K Blu-ray drive, which I believe is an 8-speed. Don't quote me on that because I've not seen the actual FCC parts list that went into it in a few, I don't know, this year. But I do believe that is correct, unless they made some last-minute changes before they were revealing the price. We do have an inset, not very likely to hit this button with any glancing touch, even if it was capacitive, because it is inset about 1/4 millimeter below the surface, and it is non-rotatable. So they want you to have this in a laying or in a standing monolith position. And I don't agree with that. I think this should have been like the PS2 and even the PS3, to where you could rotate it and have it be for either orientation. But, you know, that's here nor there. You can look at it like it's facing the future, or you can stand it up towards looking like it's facing the sky. So either way, it represents, you know, daydreaming, dreams, or future-proof. We do have, look like they are about 2.5 millimeter deep nubs for it to lay on its side. And then on the back here, at the very top, you can see, looking down, the accent of the green underneath the top vent, which is basically just a secondary vent of adding color. Because it does not go all the way to the very edge on all sides as deeply. Like, You can see in here in the center, it's very, very deep, the same depth as this top black plate. As you go outwards, it gets slender and more slimmer in the green. Here we have our vent. You know, if you wanted to see proof what I'm talking about, you can look straight up in there. We do have a Kensington lock, which is interesting to see. So it looks like that's part of the way they're implementing the security of removing this back plate, because you can see it does have tabs here going all the way up along the edges where it locks into to be flush. And then we have large vent right here, which you can see that's power supply on this side. And on this side, it's just a vented area. For the other side of the $2 board design, we have our HDMI out. I am very, very displeased that there is no HDMI in. Also notice, guys, it does have Braille on here, so you can distinguish what exactly these are. So that's kind of cool. You got two super speed 3.2 Gen 1 USB right here. We do have our capable of up to Cat 6 Ethernet port, and there's for your power. Yeah, and there of course is your external SSD storage module input. For currently, the only one available is the Seagate, which is $220, but give it time. There will be others that will probably come out in 500 gig, 1 terabyte, and possibly even 2 terabyte expansions in the next 3 years. Possibly after that, you may see 4 terabyte expansions. I think this console personally should have been 2 terabytes, but I understand how expensive the SSD in this is. So, you know, even if it is a smaller 2230 sized, basically 30 millimeter M.2 SSD, that's PCI Express 4.0, at this capacity is at minimum $200. Minimum. So you're definitely getting quite a bargain and value of what this console includes. But yeah, guys, this thing is going to power me not being bored for the next few. I have a way, once more, of being able to play 4K Blu-rays, which I've just kept on acquiring and accumulating in the meantime with everything that's been going on. I am going to leave this just like that, and I'm going to put this over this. Just like that. That way, if I have to do anything for exchanging stuff, it's good to go. It's good to go. Alright. Guys, this is Knight, your Tech and Games Crusader. I hope you guys enjoyed this very slow, informative, and hopefully relaxing and pleasant unboxing and box opening and overview of the console for the Xbox Series X. Have a good day, good night. We'll see you later, guys. It's Knight, signing out.